at our storage and test facility. Let's see what we're rolling out the door today. Hope it's something expensive. Got a lot of New Year's parties to go to. Want to look cool when I drive up to the door. Excellent. Genesis GV70 SUV, all new for 2022. I've never driven a Genesis I didn't like. I think I like this one. It's based on the G70 sedan. I had a couple of those. Almost as good as the BMW was designed to compete with. Actually, it is better than the BMW was designed to compete with. I get some hate mail for saying that, but it's true. This is a nice looking rig. I'm not sure I feel the same way about these strange looking wheels. It's a personal taste. These are the optional 21-inch wheels and tires. You get in the extra optional package you have to pay a lot of money for. We'll look at the price sheet in just a moment. The base price of a GV70 with the 4-cylinder and little equipment runs around $40,000, but this is the upgraded Sport Prestige 3.5 V6 turbo all-wheel drive. Cost a bit more coin. $52,600 to be exact. And there's the $5,000 Sport Advanced package with all a bunch of goodies we don't really need, but won't anyway. Then $4,900 for the Sport Prestige package. And there's your total tab. Not cheap, but a lot less expensive than the European competition. And as a bonus, it's made in the Korean factory where the quality control is excellent. We also did a video on the Genesis G80 sedan. We'll have a link for that video at the end of this video. We also have a video on the G70 sedan. We'll have a link for that video too at the end of this video. One of the first things we do when we get a vehicle is to check and make sure there's a spare tire. And yes, indeed, there is one under there. Is that a full size? I can't really tell. Well, it says maximum speed 50 miles per hour, so that means it's not a real full-size tire. Also says made in China, so don't want to go too far in it. That's better than having no spare at all. It appears we get two sets of owner's manuals. This was in the glove box, pretty thick. This one was in the back. I'm just going to put them both in the back to save room in the glove box. And yes, we will be taking the headlights out in the dark and test them later on the video, but not right away. The base engine is a 300 horsepower turbocharged 4-cylinder. A very, very excellent motor. I drove that in one of the bigger G sedans and was very, very impressed with the power and the over 30 miles per gallon fuel economy. In this case, we have the twin turbo V6. This thing is a beast, 375 horsepower. Both transmissions are up to an 8-speed automatic. I'm told all of these come with all-wheel drive, whether it's V6 or 4. Here's what they claim off of this V6. We'll be taking this in the real world and see what the true figures are. So you might want to stick around for the entire video. Let's take a look at the cabin. And one thing I like right away, the doors come all the way down to the bottom, which means all the rocker panels stay relatively clean. Well, almost. It's been raining for 2 days, so we get a little bit of mud here, but still pretty clean. The second row seating is a little tight in leg room. I did have enough room for my Duraflame logs. The glove box is huge and lots of room since we took the owner's book out. This interior has a lot of great features. I really don't have very many complaints. Excellent gauge cluster. If you're paying attention, you see the 15.8 MPG. Alright, that's not very good, but I'm doing a lot of heavy city traffic, a lot of 0 to 60 times. Running it a bit hard. Got this giant, wide info screen. Can't get much bigger than this. This is the giant info screen control knob. Looks intimidating, but it's not. Just press the menu button. And here are your choices. Lots of stuff to pick from. I don't think you're going to want sounds of nature. calm sea waves. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Sounds like the radiator's leaking. I don't get it. And here are other sounds: lively forest, sea waves, rainy day, open air cafe, warm fireplace, snowy village. Yeah, warm fireplace. Now my car sounds like it's on fire. Some people like this stuff. I think it's kind of weird to have in a car, but oh well. One thing I like about this system, if you don't want to use the knob, you can bypass it and just use your finger. That's kind of cool. What the Germans think about this on their BMW Mercedes vehicles. The gear shifter is a round knob too. Some people don't like this. I do. And here's what the camera system looks like. Very good resolution. Climate controls right here are easy to use. You do get manual bypass controls for the radio, volume, manual tuning. If you don't want to use a screen, thank you very much. And before I forget, the drive mode: Snow, Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus, and Custom. Paddle shifters on the steering wheel if you want to get the gears manually of the 8-speed transmission. The sun visors do slide back and forth to block the sun out from the side windows. And the quality fit and finish and quality of the leather, absolutely outstanding. But keep in mind, I do have the upgraded optional packages. This car is loaded with everything, so of course it's nicer than the base $40,000 rig. I love everything about this cabin except one minor gripe: the auto-dimming mirror. There just doesn't seem to be a button to turn that off, but putting a piece of tape over the sensor hole solves that problem. I give this cabin a 9.9 out of 10. They did a very, very good job on this. Alright, the first half of this video is over. Second half, we're going out and do some driving in the real world. And the first thing we're going to do is take these headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. So we've got 4 massive bulbs on each side. If you already saw the headlight video, another video I did, just fast forward and go to the other driving characteristics we're doing. Alright, it's dark enough. Let's see what these headlights do. Right now I have them set on the low beam. Now on high. Look pretty bright to me. And here's what you'll see from the rear. Pretty hard to miss. When you open or close the door in the dark, you see the Genesis emblem on the pavement, so everybody will know what you're driving. Here's what the rear camera looks like in the dark. Pretty decent. And all the switchgear lights up pretty good in the dark, including the shifter. Now for the headlights on a wall 100 feet away with low beam, very bright. Not much height, but more than adequate for city driving. Let's put the high beams on. Definitely a lot more illumination. Usually in a vehicle in this price class, we get active headlights, which means the beams turn in the same direction as the steering wheel, but apparently we don't get that here. Oh well, can't have everything. And here I have the high beams on a fence 80 yards away, building 130 yards away. Illuminates pretty good, got a low beam. Again, adequate for city driving, but on the backcountry roads you'll need the high beams. This V6 engine is very potent. Makes the car very quick. For that you need excellent headlights, and they certainly delivered. Yes sirree, Bob. So let's take this out in the boonies and see what the headlights do. And I have some road signs a quarter-mile away on high beam. Let's go low beam. Yeah, you can still see it. Well, the high beams are great for long distance. You can see the low beams have a tendency to disappear in the pavement just a wee bit in dips. Nothing serious in this spot, though. And here we have another example. Have the brights on. Got the low beam really disappeared there. And that's very important because there's some very nasty wildlife out here. Wild pigs, skunks, mountain lions. You don't want to hit one of those, especially a skunk. It would be nice if we had active headlights that turn the same direction with the steering wheel, but these lights are so bright, I don't think it matters much. Let's see if there's any trolls on the bridge. Well, that little headlight test was fun enough. Time to wrap it up and go back into town. A lot of vampire bats around here, swirling around, wanting to have me for dinner. This is a pretty good power steering system. Seems a bit on the heavy side, but still quick and responsive enough for an SUV. I don't think anybody will complain. Before we do the ride quality test, I have to comment about these 21-inch wheels and tires. They might look cool, but otherwise, I do not like them at all. Tires and wheels this big have a tendency to destroy ride characteristics. If you ever get a flat in a remote area, they will never have them in stock. Might have to wait 3 days while I ship them in. I speak from experience. But they look cool. I guess that's what people want. Let's see how they do on speed bumps. Alright, as we do in all of my videos, speed bumps at 15 miles per hour, maybe 20. If I get heavy on the throttle. Here comes bump number 1. I have this in the comfort mode, by the way. Don't know if it's going to make any difference. Ooh, that was a pothole. Bump number 2. Pretty smooth. Amazing considering these 21 inchers. Number 3. And the nasty one. Hang on. Pretty smooth, I'm impressed. I drove this turbo V6 in the G70 sedan. It was plenty quick. And even with this heavy SUV platform, it's still reasonably quick too. Looking at 0 to 60 time, pretty close to 5 seconds. I have it in the sport mode. Oh yeah, this thing's quick. That's why I was only getting 15 to the gallon for a while. These brakes are superb. A little touchy, but that's what I like. I want response right away, no mush. Also notice when you put the vehicle in sport mode, the steering gets extremely heavy. Without any other advantages though. Just to make you think it's more sporty, even though it's not. Most of my driving will be in the normal mode, unless I say otherwise. We do have snow right down the road, believe it or not. I might have to put it in the snow mode if we do a lot of extra driving. And one thing I like about this vehicle has cameras on the outside mirrors, so we put the turn signals on. You see what's beside you on the screen here. Pretty nice feature. Just a footnote here, a message to all car manufacturers. Please stop using carpeting for the floor of cargo bays. This box is sliding all over the place, back and forth, banging on the walls. Give us a rubber pad with some traction, please. There's my bitch for the day. We're going to set the fuel mileage computer, take a short highway trip, see what the numbers are. Like so. In spite of these large 21-inch tires, this is a pretty smooth rider on the highway. When you have it in the comfort mode anyway. And the wind noise is surprisingly low. They use pretty thick glass in this vehicle, so maybe it's flat on the outside, just maybe not on the inside. And the driving position's nice and high. I can see everything around me. Add to that a nice stereo system. This is great for long trips. Well, this is the end of our trip, and I was doing an even 23 mpg, but we went on a slight upgrade, so it dropped to 22.5. Not bad for a 2-ton SUV that fights a lot of air with the flat front end. If we get a chance, we might take a return trip. See if we can bump up the number. Our last fuel economy test was slightly uphill, not by much. So let's take a return trip slightly downhill and see what the numbers say then. Well, 23.7 mpg did better on this trip. No complaints from me. So now that we've done the fuel economy test, time to take this out and do some more curved driving. Roads are a little slick because of rain, but with all-wheel drive and the big tires, I don't think it's going to be an issue. This engine's definitely got a lot of guts. And the handling's far better than what I expected for an SUV. Again, it's based on the G70 sedan, which is a very, very nice sporty sedan at that. Very impressive. And while these brakes are a bit on the sensitive side, like I said before, that's what I want. Touch the brake, instant response. Far better than some of the mushy ones I've had on other vehicles lately. This is definitely an enjoyable experience. The Genesis engineers did a great job on the suspension and the engine. On curved roads like this, the pedal shifters on the steering wheel are great. Allow you to choose the gear you want, but I put this in the sport mode and the vehicle shifting on its own about as quick as I could manually, so either way works just fine. Take your pick. I love this engine. Really, really sweet. I reset the fuel economy computer before I took this road. It's going to be very interesting to see what the economy numbers are. Especially running that turbo. We'll find out in a minute. Well, I see nobody's in jail tonight. Not me, because I'm a safe driver. It was a nice 20-mile run. Ooh, 12.5 mpg. No wonder my tank's near empty. Time to head back to town in the comfort mode, I think. So what's my take on this Genesis after a week of driving? Well, I would give it 100 points out of 100, but then people would be accusing me of being a shill, and I'm not. So let's see. I didn't like the auto-dimming mirror not having cut off, and didn't like the carpeting on the cargo door. And there was something else I didn't like, don't remember, so I'm going to deduct 3 points, make it 97 out of 100. How's that? One thing is clear, if Genesis keeps making vehicles this good, they're going to destroy the competition. They're already designed to compete with Lexus and Infiniti, and they're doing a very good job there. But now the people who normally buy expensive German cars, Mercedes, Audi, and BMW, for example, they're starting to take a look at these, and rightfully so. And let's not forget that 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Oh, almost forgot. I don't like these goofy-looking emblems, so I'll deduct another point, 96 out of 100. In the meantime, I really like this vehicle, and here's some links to other vehicles we've driven, including another Genesis, so just click and watch.